It was really during my second pregnancy. I was looking out of the window and was still thinking, how can I end my life? But then I decided to go back to the bedroom to have a last look at my children. My children were the ones that actually saved me that day. But at that moment, that emotional meltdown or breakdown was also a breakthrough. I have been putting up a strong front for the longest time. I call this a high-functioning, depressed person. Anyone asks me, how are you? I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm doing great. So back then, I see seeking out for support is weakness.
So what did courage mean to you then, and how has the definition changed now? Hello and welcome to the Dreamcatchers Show Season 3, where we capture inspiring stories one dream at a time. Hosted by your very own Shalima Motial. Thank you so much for your love and support. It's because of you we are in our Season 3. And this is powered by Mandar Padhiye, the Resilient Investor. Online Diet Care by Dr. Neha Rai. Associate sponsors Infinity Jewels, supported by Realty by Dipti, Homestay, Property Upgrades, Real Estate Investments. Media partners, Crazy Talk. Hair and Makeup by Sanya Kamboj. And as we promised, we will keep getting inspiring people on our show, and Dreamcatchers believes in women empowerment, right? So today with us, we have a very inspiring personality. Let me introduce you to Lilian Ong. Please help me welcome the inspiring founder of Her Courage Business Network, a platform dedicated to empowering women to rise above their fears and live with purpose, passion, and confidence. Through her work as a coach, author, and social entrepreneur, Lillian has built a supportive community that champions women's growth in both business and personal life. She embodies the spirit of courage and transformation, encouraging others to turn their pain into purpose and their dreams into action. Welcome to the show, Lillian.
Hi, thank you for the invitation. It's my privilege.
Most welcome. We are so excited to talk to you. So, Lillian, when people hear Her Courage community, they instantly sense strength and empathy, right? So, what personal chapter in your life led this movement?
Oh, well, I think all the experiences in our lives are not wasted. Whatever I've gone through personally, from childhood trauma to teenage issues, overcoming depressions and suicidal thoughts and all that, trauma has turned into transformational tools. Women just come to me, they're just drawn to me to, ask me for a conversation. So it's very organic.
Right.
I didn't thought about, starting a community. It was really just sharing my experiences in life. So when women see my results, see the breakthrough that I have experienced,
Right.
I think it just inspires them it gives them hope that if I can do it, they can too.
Right. So, was there a specific turning point? I heard you say suicidal thoughts. Like, what really happened and what led you to it? And then, how did you start sharing it?
I started my personal development journey, really started it in my 40s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I started experiencing back pain. I had a disc bulge between my lumbar 4 and 5. So I guess my threshold for pain was very high. I waited until I couldn't even dress myself.
Oh, yeah.
I had to go and see a specialist, did the MRI scan, went for physiotherapy and all that. That it dawned on me that, hey, I better put my health back in order. So that's where I started to work on myself. And because of that intentional action,
Right.
I went through the whole reflection of my life. and
Wonderful.
realized that, wow, the childhood trauma, the teenage issue, the depression, and all the journey of the history of suicidal thoughts has been suppressed.
Right.
Yeah, that I didn't look into it. So
Right.
basically, it was all swept under the carpet. So it was really during my second pregnancy, when I was still battling with my suicidal thoughts. I was looking out of the window, the balcony actually, and was still thinking, how can I end my life again? But then I decided to go back to the bedroom to have a last look at my children. So they were still babies and toddlers. When I went to the bedroom, they were sleeping. You know, babies, when they sleep, their tummy go up and down, up and down. It was so therapeutic that at that moment, I've forgotten about my suicidal plan. So I brought myself, by then I was very tired. Physically, mentally, emotionally, very, very tired. So I dragged myself to their playroom.
Right.
I realized that I slumped on the floor. And then I started weeping. The weeping turned into crying, and the crying turned into wailing. I find myself wailing. It was like a tsunami of emotions that just overwhelmed me. And I couldn't pinpoint, what emotion I was experiencing. But if I were to pick one, it will be anger.
Oh,
But-
interesting.
But the anger is not towards others. The anger is towards myself. I was very angry with myself for all the decisions that I made. Some of the decisions I know that I shouldn't be, taking those action, but I went ahead anyway. And therefore, I suffer the consequences of that. So I was basically very angry with myself and asked a lot of why, and
Right.
yeah, but at that moment, that emotional meltdown or breakdown was also a breakthrough.
Nice.
Because at that moment, after wailing down there for 30 minutes or so, it was like a release, of all the built up over the years.
Right.
I surrendered. I surrendered to God and said, I don't know how to help myself anymore because I've been putting up a strong front for the longest time. I didn't know how to seek support.
Right.
So, but at that moment, I decided to surrender and say, you help me. I seriously do not know how to help myself anymore. And that begins, that surrender, that intentional decision to surrender and let God help, started the whole, healing journey. And then one after another, I started to take intentional action to create the change that I want, because I also realized that my children, they need me.
Right.
If I just go, I'm also being very selfish. It's just an escape. So my children were the ones that actually saved me that day.
Right.
Yeah.
So that gets me thinking, when you're suicidal, it has actually taken you a long time of suffering to reach at that point, right? You did not confide in any friend or your husband or parents or anyone. Nobody saw the signs, or were you just even masking the signs?
Yeah, during my childhood, when I was being molested at a very young age, between 5 or 6, I was basically very shut down after that. It's like a selective mutism. I don't talk. My grandfather thought that I'm mute. What's wrong with this girl? She doesn't talk.
Oh my God.
But I found a way to communicate in storytelling. So during my preschool years, kindergarten and primary school, when the teacher selected me to do storytelling.
Right.
So when I am in character, I speak, I can talk. But once I'm out of that character, I just went silent. Yeah. So, and because of, that trauma and the betrayal during the teenage years, I formed certain beliefs. Yeah, a lot of negative beliefs.
Right.
Yeah. So I bought into the positive. There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah.
It is positive, but it became a coping mechanism for me. That I I will do everything on my own because there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
And then I did not know how to seek for support. I have been putting up a strong front for the longest time. So I call this a high-functioning, depressed person.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I was functioning well.
Right.
Yeah, and anyone asks me, how are you? I'll be like, yeah, I'm fine, I'm doing great. But I didn't realize that I was suppressing all the emotions because I programmed myself that there's a will, there's a way. And only I can protect myself. Nobody can protect me. I need to stand up for myself.
So that's also a form of courage, right? So what did courage mean to you then, and how has the definition changed now?
So back then, my definition of courage was to, fend for myself, be strong, right? But over the years, I learned as I unpack, and reflect on my life, and I realized that strength and courage is a choice. And true strength is actually the ability to be vulnerable.
Wow.
So back then, I see seeking out for support is weakness. But now, I learned that it takes courage to seek support.
Right. So repeat that line for our viewers. Please look into the camera and tell that one person watching, what does courage mean to you now?
So courage is a choice to take intentional action to create the change that you want. If you think that seeking for support is weakness, I want to reframe that. You want to reframe that because it really takes courage to seek support. Yeah.
That's beautifully put. Thank you for sharing. So you created a safe space for women to rediscover their voice and power. What were some early challenges you faced bringing that vision to life in Singapore's context?
I think women generally in Singapore, we are very blessed.
Absolutely.
And the government has put in place a women's charter and different policies to protect women's rights. And so the challenge, because we are so well taken care of, it sort of like dampens the motivation to pursue or step out of your comfort zone. Because we're so comfortable with wherever we are.
Right.
Yeah. So another group would be, even though they are struggling, even though they are not happy with where they are, but that has become, that comfort zone has been so familiar, that they are so familiar with the struggle, the pain, and ironically, they are not willing to step out of that comfort zone because it's stepping out into unknown territory.
Right, and that's scary.
And that's scary.
Right.
Yeah. So because you have grown to cope with the pain, you know how to deal with the pain. So and unconsciously, the other thing is a self-awareness. Because a lot of women that I come across, they may not be aware of that vicious cycle that they are in. So if you are not aware, you can't disrupt that cycle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So the one of the challenge is to help the ladies to gain that awareness.
Right.
So even though you can see it, they may not be able to see it. So you may want to help or support, but they may not want it because they don't see the problem.
Yeah, you can't change unless you see the problem, right?
And many who are stuck in that vicious cycle of self-sabotage may not be able to see it. And they slip into this narrative that this is how it is, this is what they are born into, or even, right? This is how, it could be due to many factors. It can be cultural, it can be family background,
Education
races as well.
Right.
Yeah. So there are many factors that contributed to that lack of self-awareness or settling with that history or the script that you are born into this.
Right.
So this is how it is, this is how women are being treated, for example. So they don't see that as a problem. Yeah, and they bear with it. So that was the challenge that one of the many challenges that I faced.
Right. But could you share a story of a woman from your community that, transformation, whose transformation really moved you?
If I were to pick one off my head right now is one of our team leaders from the Women of Courage Asia community, Lisa. Lisa, when she first came to me, when she first reached out to me, she has just was overcoming her loss of her miscarriage. Yeah, so she was grieving. She was going through that process of grief and in that process of healing. Yeah.
Right.
So she brought my book, and then she shared that my book was an inspiration and motivation to her. It wasn't an overnight thing.
Of course.
Yeah, she has overcome that and now leading the Women of Courage Asia.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so she's one of the leaders and one of the pioneers that supported this community. And she will be sharing her story at our upcoming summit, the Her Courage Leaders Summit.
Right, and that's happening on 11th of April, right?
11th of April, yes, and we are celebrating our 7th anniversary. So it's a milestone for her as well.
And so you mentor these women when they come to you and you teach about leadership as well, right?
I always like to say that I'm just sharing my experiences. So in our community, I advocate peer mentoring.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
because you have something that I can learn from you, and there's an exchange in our wealth of experiences.
Oh, that's
So no one
beautiful.
is better off, than the other. It's a wealth of experience exchange. So I advocate peer mentoring.
Oh, that's beautiful. But tell me something. There are some internal barriers that women face, right? That stepping into leadership, what are those limiting beliefs that some women feel that they have and they can't be in those leadership positions? What have you personally faced while interacting with some of them?
Yeah, I realized that everything starts with the definition. What does leadership means to you?
Right.
And there's a lot of misconception about what a leader should be, who is a leader, what is leadership all about. So if you were to just go Google search or ChatGPT and ask what are the common misconceptions about leaders or leadership, and then you do a self-awareness check. In terms of leadership, I'm part of the John Maxwell Leadership Certified Team. And as John Maxwell said, one of his irrefutable laws on leadership, the law of the lead. And the law of the lead states that, your growth, how much you can grow personally or the organization is depend on your leadership skills.
Right.
So let's say your leadership skill is at a 4 on the scale of 10. Your business or whatever that you are growing will not be above 4.
Oh.
It will be 3 or below, right? So to grow your organization or even your personal potential and effectiveness, you need to raise and improve on your personal leadership skill. So as you grow, whatever that you're building will grow. That's why in our Her Courage Business Network, I always love to say this, that your business is an extension of you.
Right. Right. So what's a good leader according to you?
I learned and through John Maxwell's mentoring that everything rises and falls on leadership. And a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and then you show the way.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And leadership is influence. It's one life influencing another to grow, to create a positive impact. Yeah.
Which you're creating so beautifully through all these platforms, right? And I've been fortunate enough to attend. I received the award one year. The next year I was on the panel of judges. And this year for Her Courage Summit, I'm working for NAFA as a mentor. Yeah, mentor model.
Yeah, thank you for stepping up and to journey this together and be that role model for many others. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. You wear many hats yourself. You're an author. Can we have a look at the book? It's Women of Courage, Breaking the Fear Barrier. Beautiful, by Lilian Ong. So you're an author, you're a coach, speaker, community leader. How do you stay aligned with your core?
This goes back to my belief, my faith and my belief. Is that okay? I shared about my faith and belief.
Of course, go ahead, absolutely.
Yeah, and I mean, there are many narratives and beliefs that I used to adopt, but they never was able to fill up that vacuum in me.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody has different meaning, definition of success.
Absolutely.
For me, when I found my so-called my true identity, my identity is the one that drives my behavior. Example, if I am a loving person, then my behaviors will be loving.
Beautiful.
And then I will have loving relationship. But what happens in the world is many of us, many people that I come across are caught in that cycle of doing. It's like we said, we wear many hats.
Right.
So if your identity is an author or a coach, then what happens if that are all stripped away? That's why for people that I come across who works in an MNC, multinational corporation or organization, where they face retrenchment, they can be in the management level, but once that is stripped away, who are you? And that's where they go into identity crisis. Even though they have a wealth of experiences that they have accumulated over the years, but suddenly, they just lost themselves.
Right.
Yeah, so identity of who you are, who I am, drives my purpose. Yeah. So for me, it's the belief that I am a child of God. I am created in the image of God. So I'm just a reflection of what courage and love looks like.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And then whatever other things you have attached to your name are bonuses and stars.
Yeah,
right?
so everything I do is all about reflecting what courage and love looks like, because that's who I am. If I am a personification of courage and love, then my behaviors will manifest, will be evident of courage and love. And everything I create or words I say, people that come into my space, they will be experiencing courage and love.
Right. But tell me, there are all kinds of people coming into your orbit, right? So how do you stay inspired and recharged?
That would be silence and solitude. I intentionally make sure that I set aside time for myself.
Okay.
And time with God and time with nature. Yeah. And coming into alignment with, what God says about me, because I need to shut off what the voices from the world. We are living in a very noisy world
Totally
with
agree.
social media and everything, right? So I need to turn off those voices, those noises.
Right.
Yeah, so I love to go to the beach and do my morning walk, catch the sunrise, and just soak myself in nature.
Right.
And align my soul and my spirit with God. Yeah, and communicate with Him.
That's beautiful. That's really nice. So if you could give one piece of advice to a woman standing on the edge, not able to decide whether she wants to take that plunge, start something of her own, or stay where she is, as you mentioned earlier, what would that be?
Time waits for no one. There's a saying, right? Time and tide waits for no one. Time is no respecter of human beings, or something like that. Yeah. So we can't turn back the clock. If you don't do it now, then when? If not you, then who? So whatever, to our audience who are, like you said, standing at the age, if there's something that's in your heart that you desire to do, just do it. Just do it. You can't turn back the clock. You can't turn back to yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You only live once.
Yeah, you only live once and you might as well live it well.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. So you often talk about women rising together, right? What does authentic sisterhood look like to you in today's fast-paced world?
I think your action speaks louder than words. I'm a kinesthetic learner. And my leadership style is by taking the lead, walking the talk, And one thing in our community that I always emphasize is about collaboration, forming partnership, alliance, and always seeing the good in others, always seeing the strength in others, and how to elevate and build each other up.
Right.
So if I am focused on seeing the good in you, the strength in you, I want to draw that out. And I want to support you in seeing that. To build you up. And then forming the platforms. That's why the community, the Women of Courage Asia, Her Courage Business Network, the Her Courage Leaders Summit, these are all platforms that were born, right, to elevate our sisters, to give them a safe place to discover themselves and the opportunities to practice and apply, and discover their gifts and talents.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So if we were to fast forward 5 years, what legacy do you want Her Courage community to remember it by, leave behind? What is it that you're aiming at?
Honestly, I haven't really thought about that. I build the plane while I fly.
Right.
But I think being a mother, that's very instinctively, we are nurturing, and mothers, we create, a safe place. Our womb is a safe place for the incubation of the new life in us. So I guess what I've been doing is just creating safe space for women to discover themselves, to birth forth and flourish.
Right.
And what has been happening is it's multiplying. So we have just recently, last October, launched Her Courage Business Network Malaysia.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And also the Transform with Courage Bootcamp that we have been running it started in Singapore, and then we went to Kuala Lumpur, and then we went to Penang. And this year we are going to Cebu, Philippines.
Oh, wow.
And I have also received inquiries because I'm also part of a global community, 2 global communities. And the ladies from London, Amsterdam, India, Zimbabwe has been asking me to bring the boot camp to their country.
Oh, lovely.
So I see this as natural progression, where women, we basically, what we are doing here is, giving others the inspiration and the hope that it is possible for them to do it too. If we can do it, they can do it. It's just like igniting the fire, igniting and awakening the courage in each one. So I hope that this igniting of courage will continue. I pass this to you, the torch, to you. And you will keep on lighting up every woman wherever we go. I mean, I am only one person. I'm very inspired by Matthew Arnold. He's an 18th century poet. He said this, he said that if there ever comes a time when the women of the world comes together, simply and purely for the good of mankind, it will be a force such as the world has never known.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I was very inspired by what he said. I mean, he's an 18th century poet. And he already had that vision that one day when we come together, just purely and simply for the good of mankind, regardless of race, religion, and all that, as human beings, we just awaken the courage and keep igniting the courage in everyone. I hope this legacy, this will continue even when I'm gone. Yeah.
No, so I wish you all the best that this becomes a global platform very soon. I have quick fire fun wrap up questions for you. So don't think too much. The first answer that your head comes up with, just say it out, okay?
Okay.
So a woman who embodies courage for you.
My mom.
Oh, lovely. A quote that you return to when times get tough.
Well, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Oh, beautiful. If courage were a color, what would it be and why?
I think that's red.
Yes, you're wearing that. It's a beautiful scarf of her courage, yes. What's one word that best describes you today?
I guess I have been embodying courage. Yeah.
So courage?
Courage.
All right. The first thing you do to start your day with intention?
the first thing I do, communicate with God.
Lovely. A book that changed your perspective on life.
Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren.
Okay, that's lovely. Someone who instantly inspires you with their courage.
It will still be my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your reset button after a tough day?
Silence and solitude.
Okay, okay. A fear you've recently overcome.
Bringing this beyond the shores of Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah, I am overcoming that fear myself.
Right, and you're doing a great job at it. So lovely. What's one thing most people don't know about you?
Maybe most people don't know, only very few know, that I used to be a basketball player.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very petite, so to see me as a basketball player is like, are you sure?
Okay, okay. So you've learned something new about Lillian today, okay? A superpower you wish you had and why?
If I can read your mind.
Oh, yeah, okay. All right. What's one word you would use to describe women in Singapore today?
Women in Singapore. Oh, we're so blessed.
Yes, beautiful word that is. One word that captures your current season of life.
One word for my current season. I always
Okay.
pray for 2 words. It's establish and expand.
Oh, nice, nice. A small daily practice that keeps you connected to your purpose. I want to guess this one. Your connection with the Almighty, right?
Yes.
Oh, see? Okay, what's one dream you're still daring to chase?
To see, like what Matthew Arnold says, to really see more women coming together.
Right.
Yeah, creating that safe space for everyone.
That's beautiful. Okay, this is the last one. Finish this sentence. Courage to me is choosing to...
Courage to me is choosing to be your most authentic self.
Oh, that's lovely. That's beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, Lillian. Thank you so much for coming and inspiring and encouraging women. And I really hope that each one of you watching there gets inspired, and you're most welcome to join Her Courage Business Network. It's a beautiful platform. It's a safe space for all women to come together, share their stories. Their summit is coming up. We'll share all the links with you. It's on the 11th of April. It's going to be a day full of inspiration, getting women from across the globe together under one roof. Keep watching the Dreamcatchers show. It's because of you. We are in our season 3 and we can't thank you enough. We are on YouTube, we are on TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, iTunes, Spotify. And if you don't like watching and listening, we also have a blog on each of our guests. So always, always keep connected with us. And if you want to be on this couch, give a shout out. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned. Bye-bye. Shalima Motial signing off.